Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur. I'm from Economic Education 2016. Today, I would like to present my thesis with the title about behavior of stock investors during pandemic. First of all, let's say thanks to God who gave His blessing and mercy, so all of us can still healthy right now. This is table of contents of my presentation. The first chapter is introduction, second is the literature review, and the last is research methodology. The first is background. The government announced that the COVID-19 virus entered Indonesia on March 2, 2020 and caused economic growth to experience pressures of up to 5.3 to 32% in the third quarter of 2020 based on Occasion.com. Indonesia had experienced an economic crisis and resulted in both large and small companies experiencing losses and even bankruptcy, based on CNBN Indonesia.com. According to Ministry of Manpower survey result, around 88% of companies were affected by the pandemic. And then according to Suara.com, 1,298 companies filed for postponed of debt repayment obligation and bankruptcy as of August 2021 in 5 commercial courts. In the other way, COVID-19 has changed people's perspective on the importance of financial management. The coronavirus pandemic has increased public awareness about how to handle finances, one of which is increasing awareness to start investing by sindonews.com 2021. And these are the growth of single investor identification or SID in Indonesia based on KSEI during the 2018 until 2021 on September. The existence of technology makes it easier for investors to obtain information, receive analytical recommendation, and make investment. According to Nursyamsiyah 1999, investors tend to rely more on the analysis recommendation rather than the result of their own analysis, which results in irrational behavior. The impact of the irrational behavior of Indonesian investors are: first, the composite stock price index or IHSG correction was up to 14%, which was the biggest correction in the last 18 years, based on marketbusiness.com, and a new phenomenon where stock with good fundamentals become less attractive to investors. And these are supporting news. First, Philip Securitas Company, the majority of shares that strengthened significantly were dominated by small capitalization companies. Second, CNBN Indonesia.com, the stock prices of issues which are fundamentally good have actually decreased. The third, marketbusiness.com, the ranks of the top gainers of composite in stock price index of the current period of 2020 are filled with stocks with a small market capitalization, and the last CNBN Indonesia.com, these stocks with a capitalization below 5 trillion are being hunted by domestic investors. And then research questions. First, does financial literacy have a positive effect on investment decision during the pandemic? Second, does hoarding behavior affect investment decision during the pandemic? And the last, does the overconfidence affect investment decision during the pandemic? And the third, research proposes: first, to find out the effect of financial literacy on investment decision during the pandemic. Second, to find out the effect of hoarding behavior on investment decision during the pandemic. And the last, to find out the effect of overconfidence on investment decision during the pandemic. Fourth, benefit of research. First, for investors, to increase the knowledge of stock investors and be able to make a better investment. Second, for students, become a reference source of economic education study program students. And the last, for researchers, to apply the knowledge of economic education that has been learned and obtained during the lecture process. And then let's move to the chapter 2, literature review. First, signal theory. In the book of the Portfolio Theory and the Indonesian Capital Market 2020 states that signal theory is a theory that discusses the ups and downs of market price, then influence investors' decision. Associated with the signal theory, that the pandemic event that occurred was accepted by the market as a signal that provided new information. In this condition, the announcement gives a signal to the investor, resulting in a change in the trading price. Second, market efficient hypothesis theory. In the book of Investment Management by Frank, translated by Tim Salemba 4, 1999, the efficient market hypothesis states that the stock price forms reflects all available information. And then in the book of Financial Research Empirical Tests by Asnawi 2005, the efficient market hypothesis states that individuals can think fairly and not use psychological factors in making decisions, so that stock prices reflects all available information. Let's move to supporting theory on the chapter 2. The first is the definition of investment decision. Investment decision is a policy taken to make a decision when an individual faces more than one investment opportunity to anticipate future rewards and profits before the capital in investments, based on Budiarto and Susanti 2017. Second, financial literacy definition. Based on Peraturan Otoritas Jasa Keuangan or POJK number 76 of 2016, financial literacy is a knowledge, skills, and beliefs that influence a person's attitude and a behavior to improve the quality decision-making and financial management to achieve prosperity. And based on Chen and Volt 1998, financial literacy is the ability to manage individual finances. And then financial behavior. Behavioral finance is a study of psychological factors related to the behavior of financial professionals and their impact on the market. In psychology literature, a person can make a symmetric error in reasoning or cognitive, relate too much on his own skills or ability, and relate to experience. When an investor experiences bias in making investment decisions, irrational decisions can become reality. On the other hand, irrational decisions can occur when investors are faced with uncertainty and risks. And then herding behavior. According to Devano and Salim, defines herding behavior as a pattern of behavior that creates relationship between individuals, where investors have a tendency to follow the decision of the other investors. This behavior can be triggered by individual thoughts, feelings, and behavior. This behavior occurs when investors base on investment decision on shared information and ignore the other information, news, and financial reports. Impacts. Investors do not understand the type of investment, only follow the beliefs of the others who have no knowledge of long-term returns and risks. Second, overconfidence, a condition of believing that an investor has a better skill than the other investors. This is because they have a limitation on information they receive, making them think as if they have knowledge and ability to outperform other investors. Impact, increasing the frequency of trading according to plan and according to nightly, the ordinary investors who are too confident ignore the risk they perceive as a superior to other investors. And then relevant research based on the explanation of Chen and Volt 1998 about wrong opinions and limited knowledge will influence a person to make a financial decisions. In line with Alaraj and Bakri found a positive and significant relationship between financial literacy and investment decision, and then herding effect and overconfidence behavioral biases are shown by Madam and Singh, where investors are influenced by various biases in behavioral finance. Concludes refers to investors who have limited knowledge and influence on investment decision making. The bias of overconfidence behavior is not found in Shah and Mahmoud, who see that overconfidence cannot make an investment decision better. And this is the theoretical framework: literacy keuangan as the X1, and then herding behavior as the X2, and overconfidence as the X3, and then the financial investment as a Y. Let's move to the chapter 3, research methodology. The first is place. The research will be held in the Jabodetabek area, and these are the sebaran investor in domestic in Indonesia, and time will be started in August to December 2022. And then research design. This study uses primary data types and quantitative survey method. Sampling of the population of this study uses a convenient sampling method. And then population. The population in this study are investors who had a single investor identification for at least 1 year, and it can be concluded that the population of this study cannot be determined. And then sample. Determination of the number of samples in this study will use the Lemeshow formula with a margin of error 10%. 96 samples were obtained, which were rounded up to 150 samples. And then conceptual definition. First, financial literacy is the ability that a person has to able to manage individual finances in such a way so the healthy economic behavior is achieved. Second, herding behavior is a behavioral pattern that links individuals. The third, overconfidence, a sense of self-confidence in oneself that arises excessively. And the last, investment decision is the process of choosing an alternative from the various available alternative investment. And then operational definition. First, financial literacy is the ability to read, understand, and analyze personal financial information to make a wise decision in managing finances. Second, herding behavior is a behavior to the tendency to imitate the behavior of others rather than follow the beliefs and information possessed to make an investment decision in a stock market. Third, overconfidence is the belief that the information held by investors is more accurate than the actual situation and past experiences of investors. And then the last, investment decision is the process of placing funds for an investment with the hope of getting return on the investment made. These are the indicators that will be used. The first, financial literacy from Chen and Volk 1998, herding behavior from Kamau 2020, overconfidence from Nada and Muhammad 2013, and investment decisions from Khan 2017. And these are the data analysis technique that will be used. First, validity, reliability, and then classical assumption test, normality, multicollinearity, heteroscedasticity, and autocorrelation. And the last, hypothesis test is linearity, F-test, T-test, and coefficient of determination test. And this is the end of presentation. Thank you so much for watching this video. Your question and suggestion will be being uploaded for you.